If you're looking for a premium upgrade in lighting performance for the front end of your Tundra while getting a very sleek look in the meantime, these Morimoto XP LED headlights with the black housing and the clear lens will be a great choice for your 2014 to 2021 Tundra. Now this set will be right up your alley if you're in search of a high quality headlight to increase your lighting performance if you're struggling with visibility at night due to a fogged headlight or just the factory halogen bulbs. Now not only will this help when it comes to lighting performance, but also style, adding a modernized appearance to the front end of the truck, which really elevates the truck's appearance. These headlights will offer multiple projector LEDs that will offer a huge upgrade compared to the factory lighting for a cleaner beam pattern and a longer beam pattern to give you better visibility at night. This set will also have an LED light bar daytime running light up at the top and down at the bottom here, which will switch back to amber for the turn signal, making you more noticeable on the road. Not to mention, these will have an incredibly clean look to them with the black housing in addition to the clear lens that will achieve that more blacked out or aggressive appearance without compromising any lighting performance. When it comes to the construction, these will have a UV coated clear polycarbonate lens for good durability, especially if you take your truck off-road, and they'll be IP67 rated to make sure that no dirt or water is going to get in and potentially fog up the lens or harm the LEDs inside. Not only will the housing be a big upgrade, but the multiple projector lenses paired with the LEDs will also optimize your lighting performance, again creating a very uniform beam pattern compared to the incandescent bulb. Now these are also going to be completely plug and play. As you can see, this does come with a wiring harness here, so it's going to be very straightforward when it comes to install, and they'll be DOT and SAE approved for a little bit of peace of mind. When it comes to price, these will come in at right around the $1,400 mark, again making these a more premium option for an LED headlight. Now what stands out here about this set is not only the sharp appearance and the outstanding light performance compared to the factory bulbs, but the fact that this is going to have a very tough build that's made to last with a super easy plug and play construction, so you don't have to question when it comes to the lights and you don't have to question when it comes to the install. The LEDs will also be incredibly efficient, so this is going to be a one and done type of mod that you won't have to maintenance over time like the factory lights that you may have to replace, making it well worth the extra couple bucks. Now, install will be a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, taking you about an hour to get the job done with some basic hand tools. At this point, we can head over to the shop and check out a detailed breakdown of the install and what it looks like step by step. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and jump into it.
For this install, you will need a ratchet, a 10mm socket, clip removal tool, and a fuse puller or needle nose pliers if you don't have one. What's up guys, today we're going to be installing a new set of headlights on our Tundra, so let's get started. So now to get started, we've got our hood popped, and our first step is going to be to remove our grill. So to do that, we've got these 2 plastic clips on either side that we'll take out with our clip removal tool, and then 4 10mm bolts that we'll remove with our 10mm socket on our ratchet. So we'll go ahead and take our clip removal tool and pop our plastic push pins out. And you have one on the driver's side as well as the same spot on the passenger side. Go ahead and pop our other one out here. Now we'll go ahead and grab our 10mm socket and ratchet and remove our 4 bolts here at the top of our grill. And we'll set those aside. Now that we have all of our hardware out, we can go ahead and pull our grill out. So you may need to pull up just a hair to get it over its threaded inserts. And we'll go ahead, give a tug. Then once you have it separated from its clips here, you may have a plug on the back side of the grill, which will show you that you need to disconnect to fully remove your grill. So we'll go ahead and grab our connector here and push in on our release. Go ahead and unplug that. And we can go ahead and set our grill aside. So next we can go ahead and remove our lower trim panels here, and we'll go ahead and take our clip removal tool and remove our plastic push pins here. Pop these out. And once you pop those out, you can go ahead and just pop those off and set these aside. And then you can go ahead and repeat this process for your other side. So now we can go ahead and remove our 3 mounting screws holding our headlight in place using our 10mm socket on our ratchet. And we have 2 up top here and then 1 down on the outside. So we'll go ahead and get these 2 off first. We'll set those aside, and then we'll come around to our bottom screw. Now we'll go ahead and remove this mounting screw. Set that one aside. Then we can go ahead and get our headlight out of its housing position. So now we'll get our headlight out of its position here, and to do that, sometimes you'll have to grab onto these mounting tabs here and kind of pull up on them to get them over the threaded inserts where their screws go. And then it should just pop right out forward like that. And we'll go ahead and pull it out, and we'll start disconnecting all of our connectors. So we'll go ahead and pop our connectors off by just pushing down on our release tabs. Some of them are a little stuck, but should just come right out. Now, this black one can be a little bit of a pain. There we go. So now once you have your headlight out on this side, you can go ahead and repeat the same process for your other side. So now that we've got our headlights out, we need to install our harness into our fuse panel here for some additional functions of our new headlights. So we've got the top of our fuse panel pulled, and for our installation, we're gonna put in our provided fuse tap here into this 10-amp fuse next to our last blue relay here and our 2 other white fuses here. So we're gonna grab our provided fuse puller in our fuse panel. Now, if you don't have a fuse puller, you can use needle nose pliers. Those work just as well. We'll go ahead and pop our 10-amp fuse out here. And in its place, we're going to install our fuse tap. And pop that down into position. And then we can go ahead and reinstall our cover for our fuse panel. Now, this may be a little bit tighter, obviously, with the wiring added to it. And if you did wish to do so, you could cut a little notch out for the wiring, but it will fit as it sits. So now we can route our plugs for each headlight, and so we're gonna put our driver's side one right here, wrap it around our battery so we can have access to it. And then for our passenger side plug, for demonstration purposes, we're just gonna run our wiring here and tuck it into this foam padding in front of the radiator. Now, when you're doing this at home, you can feel free to make it your own, do it as you wish, you know, however you want to tuck it out of the way. Just make sure you keep it out of the way of any spinning or very hot parts to prevent any damage to your harness or anything else. So now we're ready to begin plugging in our new headlights, and because our truck specifically has factory LEDs, we are required to get this conversion harness that does not come with these headlights, but it is sold separately. So if yours has factory LEDs, you will also need this to install these headlights. So we'll get all our connectors to our adapter harness plugged in for our headlights. Just find which ones match up. And you want to hear that nice confirmation click so that you know they're fully seated. So we have those 2 in place. Now this is just a ballast. And then we'll go ahead, grab our factory side harness here and start plugging in all of our connectors. And take our big one here. Get that click, that's what you want to hear. And this connector in, and after you've double checked you've got all of those in, you can plug our add-on harness in here. Make sure that clicks. Now as far as this plug here that is just routed inside the headlight and comes out and is plugged into itself, this is the feature for either sequential or solid turn signals. So if you were to unplug this, this is the sequential mode. If you plug it in, it is the solid state mode, so your light will just turn on and off as a normal turn signal. And unplugged is the sequential, where it will be seen in our demonstration. So we're gonna leave it unplugged now for our sequential mode. And we've got everything else plugged in, so it's time to get our headlight in place. So now we can go ahead and get our headlight into place. Now you have added a lot of wiring here, so just make sure nothing is going to get pinched as you set your headlight back into place. And you have to get this bottom dowel here around that cover. And just move your wiring into a safe spot. And make sure your headlights get seated where all their mounting locations are in the right spot. So now that we have our headlight in place, we can go ahead and reinstall our factory 10mm mounting screws, again with our 10mm socket on our ratchet. So we'll get our two top ones in place first here. And remember, you are screwing these into plastic inserts, so you don't have to go crazy with your tightening. Just get them nice and snug. Then we'll go ahead and reinstall our side one here. We'll go ahead and get our side mounting screw in place here. Now we can go ahead and reinstall our outer trim panel here. We'll just line that back up. Get it popped into its clips on the side here. Then we'll reinstall our plastic push pins. Then once you have this process complete on this side, you can go ahead and repeat the same steps for your other headlight before reinstalling your grille. Now that we have our headlights in, we can go ahead and get our grille reinstalled. So we'll start by plugging our collision avoidance sensor back in. It's easier to do it while you have the grille upside down like this. And once you plug that in, go ahead and flip it back over. Get all of our clips lined up here. And give our bottom a good push. Get all those clips back into position. And then we can reinstall our plastic clips up top, and along with our 4 10mm screws. Go ahead and get our clips in on each side. Then we can go ahead and reinstall our 4 10mm screws up top. And again, we're using our 10mm socket on our ratchet to do so. That'll do it. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our Morimoto XB LED headlights with black housings and clear lenses for the 2014 to 21 Tundra. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Tundra, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.